Howdy, folks. Welcome to another episode of Fluffenbusters. I'm not this week joined by Mr. White. He sadly is dealing with real world stuff, but I found a substitute. It's another Adam, Mr. Gruff. Say hello, Mr. Gruff.
Liberate tutemet et infernus.
Yes, I found him lurking in the lobby, as you might say, because we're tackling Event Horizon today.
Where we're going, we won't need eyes to see.
Yeah. God, this film's wonderful. It's so bizarre.
There's this entire thing with Event Horizon, and we'll get into the 40k connection shortly at some point during this, because there is actually a 40k connection,
Yeah.
and I have it from the horse's mouth on where that 40k connection comes from.
Excellent.
However, what I always find interesting about Event Horizon is that you have Paul W.S. Anderson, same name as the delightful Sugar Bear, Mr. Logan Blaze on the Discord. And if you don't know the entire story of the Sugar Bear, I am not going to get into it here. It's too long and involves a naked photo with a Unicron covering the most offensive parts. It's a long story, and I'm going to leave you with just that bit.
I'm forced to ask which Unicron, because there's like
the Armada Unicron.
Okay.
In planet mode. It was a bet, and our Paul Anderson unfortunately lost it and did a Christmas card, and it was the funniest damn thing I've ever seen in my life. Beautiful, beautiful moment. I'm so happy to know the people I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Paul W.S. Anderson, he created multiple films over the years. The two that he made that always stand out to me are the first Mortal Kombat, which is a wonderful experience. It goes, here's Mortal Kombat, but let's take a Jason and the Argonauts approach with it.
I mean, Mortal Kombat does kind of take it. It's not a one translation of the game, and even for law that was even in the first game. But it is quite a lot of fun. It gets the spirit of Mortal Kombat.
It gets the spirit of Mortal Kombat absolutely bang on the money. Yeah,
and those classic martial arts tournament movies like Enter the Dragon, which
Bloodsport, and all that type of thing. And oh man, I could talk about Bloodsport for hours on end. So there's a lot of interesting stuff that goes on about there, especially about the guy who wrote the film Bloodsport, saying that it was all based on his life.
Oh yes, I've heard about him. The
giant bullshitter.
Yeah,
up there with the Warrens. But yeah, Mortal Kombat's a really good film. It's a solid adventure film with a lot of fun. All the cast is great, and it ends up being something better than the games it's based on, in my eyes. Yeah, the game story, until you get into much later on into the PS2 era, Mortal Kombat story was always a bit rubbish because there wasn't one.
No,
that wasn't the point of the games. So actually having lore and a full story, which the games then started taking from that film going forward.
Yep,
Shang Tsung starts looking a lot younger all of a sudden.
I mean, there's a hell of a. Mortal Kombat's got a weird mythology anyway. But
yes,
what's really bizarre to me is how all the different media for it actually does slot together.
Yeah, it does now. I mean,
because do you remember there was that one season live action TV show they did?
Conquest.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, man.
Fits in as it's actually a established prequel to the games.
All right. If you're going to bring up Conquest, I need to. Conquest makes me angry. Right.
Go on.
It ends on the most amazing cliffhanger in the world, which is Shao Kahn building an army and doing this entire "we go to war," and it never comes back.
Yeah,
and it's an amazing cliffhanger. It is such a great end to the series, and it's left, and you're like, God damn it! It's up there with Reboot before Reboot. Well, I was going to say before Reboot got rebooted, but then the reboot of Reboot was terrible and didn't actually fit it off.
Yeah,
but where reboot ends with megabytes, and so begins the hunt, which is a great cliffhanger, and it never gets looked at.
Was that season 3?
Ugh.
Because I only ever saw like the first half of season 3. Because it.
No, that was the end of the TV movies.
Oh,
At the end of My Two Bobs, you have megabytes
blimey.
returned as a super virus, and he's taken over mainframe, and everyone's on the run.
Oh, I have to go track these down because I've never seen these.
Mate,
Because to me, reboot. You had the end of season 2, which was one of the best endings to a season you could think of, and then season
ye-
3 started up with Matrix and their journey together.
no.
Was it?
This is weird, right? That's how it was shown on CITV, but that's
Yes.
not how
Yeah.
it goes.
Oh,
So season 2 ends with Bob being fired off into the web,
yeah.
in an almost frame by frame remake of the Beast Wars season 2 ender that happened 3 weeks beforehand.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Hmm.
It's really bizarre. When it comes back, you have 6 episodes of No Bob, and it's just Dot and
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Enzo. Yeah, it is Enzo. I couldn't remember poor
That's right.
Enzo
Because you had the
Matrix's name there.
Because you had the and Dot stuff, but
Yeah,
then ends with Enzo and is it
Enzo
Leah?
loses the
Yeah.
Doom Mortal Kombat style game, has his eye pulled out,
Yep.
right? And then because he loses the game takes him back into the web. We then pick up on the next episode where you have him as Matrix. What you find out in the TV movies is that Matrix is still the same age. It's just that's what he turned himself into because it was the only way he could survive
Yeah.
being in the web. He's still a kid. All the stuff he does, he's still a kid. It's amazing.
Dang it! I'm going to go on
Um,
a deep dive into reboot.
Absolutely. The first TV movie is um, it's a virus
Mm.
who is transmits by touch, and
Mm.
she has taken over the Guardians. She has taken over bit by bit by bit, and she isn't the spitting rage that Megabyte is. She is reasoned, she is calm, and she is terrifying.
That
It,
sounds great.
I am not kidding you when I say everything that comes in the last year of reboot is genuinely incredible. It is some of the best kids TV you'll ever see. It's amazing.
Well, I know what I'm going to be doing this afternoon. I think I should be having
I
a
think
deep
you should.
dive
I think you
into
should start.
reboot.
Yeah, it's funny because reboot starts off and it's quite light-hearted and quite
Mm.
humorous. I mean, there's a was it Data and Modem, the two
Yep.
um,
The X Files.
films?
That
Yeah,
was a great pastiche.
so funny,
Yeah.
so funny. Um, and then as it goes along, more stuff gets added. You start getting Hexadecimal's backstory, and
Mm.
Hexadecimal is one of the most tragic characters you'll see in TV. She is heartbreakingly sad. Um, Everything about reboot is incredible. But anyhow, right,
Yes.
we're not here to talk about reboot because reboot and Mighty Max are two things that I will, and Avenger Penguins are all things that I will talk about in huge amounts of time
And honestly,
every time
I,
I get the
I
chance.
I would talk with you about them, but let's put a pin in that conversation
Yes.
and
So
return to
Paul
Paul
W.S.
Anderson.
Anderson,
Yeah.
yeah, he made Mortal Kombat.
Mm.
He then goes off to make Event Horizon a couple of years later. Massive studio interference. It's the story behind how this film got made is genuinely sad because it's a constant battle. It's a to and fro.
Mm.
The idea of it was always going to be it's a Sam Neill vehicle. It's just getting Sam Neill, who is starting to wane a little bit after Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Not much, but it's just starting to wane because he's not that kind of actor. He's the actor who's going to constantly pick up on doing stuff like just because his name's out there.
Yeah. So Sam Neill's always. I mean, Jurassic Park's kind of stood out as a bit of an oddity in his filmography because
Yes
it's
and
not
no.
his. Yeah, I
I
suppose.
mean,
Yeah.
before that, you had John Car. So you've got Dead Calm,
Mm.
the Nicole Kidman thriller, where he plays the abusive husband. You've got In the Mouth of Madness with John Carpenter.
Yep.
You've got Jurassic Park, and then you've got Event Horizon.
That's a really weird stretch of movies.
It is. And then don't forget, he retires after Jurassic Park 3 for all intents and purposes.
Yeah,
Does a couple of TV bits, and then just turns up in Hunt for the Wilder People, which is one of the funniest damn films ever made.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And
Says, hey, you're a Caucasian. That's stupid. Anyone can see you're a white lad.
God, that's a stupid joke. I love it.
I mean, that and the him having a dog. Oh, I haven't decided. I'm either going to call him Tupac or Megatron. Like, yes. And the woman who is using the No Child Left Behind as a threat. It's just so good. Anyhow, so yeah, Sam Neill's career has been a long and varied one. He's a really interesting guy. He was in an Omen film.
Yep.
You know, it's like the guy's career has always been one where he has picked the things he finds the most interesting to do. And then when he's not doing that, he's just working on his wine vineyard and his farm.
Yeah. Or doing the odd
He's
documentary about. He did a cracking one a few years back about Captain Cook's explorations, and it was a completely clear-eyed exploration. He didn't varnish things. He didn't try
no,
and romanticize things. He was incredibly direct about what Cook's impact was, and how the native people saw him as well. It was really, really good.
yeah,
And
no, it's an incredible
mm,
documentary.
yeah.
And that's of course the biggest thing that I will get shouted out if I don't mention is that Sam Neill's birthday falls on the same day as my wife's.
Ah,
So there we go. I have tried for many years to find a connection to Sam Neill in order to ask him to do a little birthday card for my wife, but so far, no luck. Did get a load of signed stuff off him though once, so that was nice. Got a Jurassic Park poster that he got that signed by everybody who all the cast that were on it.
oh,
So
that's
that
cool.
was it's a really nice thing we've got hanging up on the in the living room.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson, he comes out the gates with these two really strong films,
Mm.
and then proceeds to make the most lackluster experiences ever.
Yeah. His filmography post this is. See, he had a hand in. He directed what, 2 or 3 of Resident Evils? He didn't direct all of them, did he?
3, I think.
Yeah. Married Mila Jovovich.
Put her in every film that he then made.
Yeah. Made what I think is quite a fun, if bizarre, take on the Three Musketeers, which I'm still annoyed didn't get a follow-up because God, that film's bonkers.
It's a visually interesting film. I mean, yeah, he does the first Resident Evil. I should actually say as well, he did Soldier, 1998
Yes,
Soldier,
yes.
a film that is weirdly better than it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It
It is
shouldn't.
not.
It's Soldiers is not what the director or the marketing team pitch it as so much.
No, it's a strangely introspective film,
Mm,
but the parts are terrible, but the whole is good.
yeah,
I've never been able to fully get my finger on the pulse of it, but there is something about Soldier that I've always enjoyed, and not in a oh man, this is shit, it's brilliant type. And it might literally just be Kurt Russell's performance drags it out of the mire, but it's a very
oh,
muted, understated performance. So I don't know.
yeah. It is one of, to be fair, and yeah, Soldier is an odd movie. It's on for watch long in a couple of weeks,
Hmm.
which I'm quite looking forward to seeing it again. To be fair, but
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a couple of years.
it's
The
such
last
a
time I
weird.
watched it, I did a back to back of Blade Runner Soldier and Blade Runner 2049,
Ooh, that's good.
which was actually quite a fun little. Yeah, it was a fun evening.
I can picture that. Yeah, you got
So from
two.
there,
Mm.
sorry, carry on.
No, crack on.
So from there, he makes the first Resident Evil, which the first Resident Evil, although horrendously tonally all over the place, is fun. It's
Mm.
not a bad little film. He makes AVP once again. It's not
Yeah, yeah.
great, but it is a very watchable film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the fact that AVP 2 happens makes AVP 1 better by comparison.
Yeah.
He then makes Death Race with Jason Statham,
Oh God, I
which,
forgot Death Race.
how do you forget Death Race? A film that I, for years, was sure was an Asylum movie. Because
Hal.
it just feels like an Asylum movie. Although it came out, and Asylum made their own version of Death Race with
Yeah.
the Insane Clown Posse, and somehow that's actually better. It's the Statham Death Race is a very, very boring film. From there, he goes from Resident Evil Afterlife, Three Musketeers, Resident Evil Retribution, um, Resident Evil: The Final Chapter in 2016, Monster Hunter, which I had to go back and look because I honestly thought that was an Uwe Boll film.
I forgot about Monster Hunter as well.
Oh, I've never seen it, but my brain
Yeah.
went, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was a thing." And he also made a film about Pompeii, which I've never seen.
Oh, wait, was that him? The one with Kit Harington?
Yes, yes.
How did I not know that was a Paul Anderson movie? I've seen a lot of these films at the cinema, to be fair. I think hearing you list to them, it's like, how did I? It's like Pandorum. Somehow I didn't know he was a producer until the end credits. And yet, watching it, I was thinking, this feels like a Paul Anderson movie, but I'm sure he wasn't listed as the director.
Pandorum is one of those films where it's a decent enough film,
Hmm.
but I want an RPG set in that ship so badly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I mean, hell, there are board games now. Like, I've got one Gen 7 where you play crew members of a ship that wake up periodically to
Mm-hmm.
run their shift. And you wake up and things have gone to hell. And your
Ooh.
shift basically has to work out what's happening. But it's one of these ones where you can replay it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So you can replay it and try and work out what's happened and try
I'm in for
it.
that.
Yeah, it's from the guys who did Dead of Winter.
Oh,
It's kind of
ooh.
regarded a bit less fondly, I think, because zombies in winter and one person potentially trying to screw everyone else over is a bit more compelling.
Yeah.
But Gen 7, I got a soft spot. I mean, I've got the expansion for it as well, just because it was cheap one day, and I thought, oh, I'll grab that, put it in a basket. But it's a nice production. It's one of those settings that it's weird doesn't get returned to more often, because Pandorum did kind of nail the vibe really quite nicely. I mean,
It really does. I've always thought that Pandorum and Event Horizon are a hand in hand.
oh yes, they feel like
Yeah,
they're in the same universe very much.
oh, 100%. 100%. And yeah, it's one of those ones where there's a part of me that's like, can I write an RPG that files the serial numbers off Pandorum and Event Horizon and make something out of it?
Well,
Yes. Yes, I can.
can you use Joe McCulloch's, or is it Joe McCulloch or Jonathan Hickman?
Oh, those dark places.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Hickman's. Sorry, I mean you could, but it's more like the exercise of doing it for me. Can I get the
Oh yeah.
feel of those films down
Mm.
on paper? Which is on my big list of things I want to do, which I will get to at some point. Also, buy my books. I
Yes,
have books. Buy them.
they're quite good to be fair. I,
So far, they're not shit. Yay. Um,
on that, we should probably start the film running because we can yammer over it. To be fair,
yeah, that's
so
fine. That's fine.
so I'm going to be running the remastered edition,
Same.
starting from 2 seconds in on the Paramount logo. So 1, 2, 3, play. And so I know you wanted to chat about this one on Lurks in the Lobby because of its Lovecraftian
Yes.
overtones.
Yes. Lurkers in the Lobby, which if people don't know, then you should, because I cleaned them up as best I can, because my God, those are 15-year-old episodes.
Mm. Really,
Old.
really
Oh,
compelling
yeah.
stuff though. I've been listening to them as I've been riveting stuff and driving to London and back on occasion. They're great
It was
chats.
something I was always really proud of. And the fact that we managed to get quite a lot of people involved in it,
Yeah.
up to and including the Bard himself came in. You know, they were really popular back in the time. lurkers in the lobby. And this sounds like I'm blowing my own trumpet, and it's something I'm never comfortable doing. But in this case, it is worth pointing out. When we did lurkers in the lobby, it ended up being the most popular thing on the old Oil House network.
Oh wow!
Back in the day, where each episode, because we didn't do them very often, they were maybe once a month, if that. And every time they came out, they were up there with BBC Sounds level downloads.
Jeez.
Every time. That's how popular those things got. And then, of course, when these things happen, it just tails off and gets completely forgotten about. And I was always really proud of what we managed to achieve with that.
And you should be. I mean, I'm glad you brought them back, because I'm sure I must have known about them, but at the time I wasn't really my vibe. But listening to them as part for Fluffenhammer uploads, they've been great. I mean,
Thank you.
Really dig into some nuts and bolts. I mean, I've never really been a big Lovecraft guy. I mean, my first, outside of hearing his name attached to Call of Cthulhu and stuff, my first kind of exposure to him as a personality was when he was a character in Necronauts in 2000 AD, alongside Harry Houdini and who else was it? Sherlock Holmes writer. My mind's gone blank for a second there. And a famous and another guy who was Conan Doyle, and another guy who was a famous, I think, spiritualist, but also debunker of spiritualism. Charles something. Fraser Irving on art kind of brought him to American audiences in a big way. That book, that story, it continued in, I think, via Dark Horse. But that was my first. That was my first exposure to Lovecraft and his issues, shall we say?
The man had issues.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just looking at this gorgeous ship.
Isn't it? It's such a good bit of design, this.
Yeah. And it annoys me that CGI has fallen. I mean, this is it's a model with CGI overlays.
Yeah.
That's how they did it. But my God, what I would give for just having that over pretty much any special effect in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's one of those bits of design that it's both weirdly impractical, but also it makes sense that you'd have the drive area way away from the command deck, because that's something that's theorized. I mean, it goes back right to 2001.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the vibe they go for in these things.
Yeah. Just to go back to Lovecraft, I don't know if I spoke about it in Lurks in the Lobby. As I say, that was 15 years ago when we did them, so it's hard to kind of remember now. But I didn't come to Lovecraft from his books.
Okay.
I came to Lovecraft wrongly, incorrectly, because I came to Lovecraft from the Necronomicon.
Okay.
So when I was in college, obviously, you've seen films and you've read books. The Necronomicon is one of those things that keeps turning up, and I became really interested in the fictional history of the Necronomicon. The Mad Arab, Abul Hazard, and just the collecting all this information off this early burgeoning internet of people who were writing this stuff down as if it was real. I will hasten to point out I did not think it was real. Just even then, as a silly little teenager in college, I had enough common sense to know when stuff was fiction, stuff wasn't. So anybody out there who does the entire idea of you can't watch violent movies, it'll make you violent, it won't. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
So it's probably I knew more about the Necronomicon and the fictional history of Abul Hazard before I came to a single Lovecraft story. I had seen Mouth of Madness. I had seen quite a few other things that have Lovecraftian tendencies. John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness, The Thing. Yeah. So when I start reading Lovecraft, it's a very weird experience. Because at the time, the only horror, like true horror, that I had read was Anne Rice, and I wanted to burn my eyes out.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of a page and a half talking about a fucking cupboard. What I came across in Lovecraft, though, was that the ideas and concepts are brilliant. He, as a writer, isn't that good. He's an amazing ideas man, but his characterization it's poor. But he manages to create and conjure up such an atmosphere that you can't help but fall in love with him, even though the guy himself was a horrible, scared little freak of a guy who genuinely would have had a whole heap of diagnoses if he was born today.
Yeah, I mean, he was very much a product of his time, sadly,
Absolutely. I mean,
and his environment. 'Cause,
yeah, I mean, his dad committed suicide. His mother was institutionalized. He spent his entire life with his three aunties
yeah,
who did not want to have a boy in the house, and so they treat him poorly.
yeah,
Is the best way. I won't get into too much details about that particular thing because it's not pleasant listening. Um, and what that ends up giving the guy is, for a very, very long time, a fear of everything.
yeah,
He's a broken individual who then starts writing down his nightmares, and that's what his stories come from. Now, that doesn't excuse his behavior, and it doesn't excuse his language, and it doesn't excuse the characteristics that he constantly displayed and didn't want to change. However, it does explain them.
yes, and that's the difference between explaining and excusing.
Exactly, and there's a big difference between the two, and I think you can always look for the reasoning. That doesn't mean that you can turn away from the bad parts of it. It doesn't say, oh well, here's the reason for it, so it's understandable.
Yeah,
No, here's the reason for it, so that's the reason for it.
yes,
Doesn't mean you can excuse it, and you should never excuse it, because antisocial behavior is always going to be antisocial behavior.
absolutely.
But anyhow,
God, this was a great cast. Sorry.
oh god, I want to talk about the timeline.
Hmm.
It was we were deep in discussion earlier on, so we kind of missed the timeline as we went by. So, according to this film, in 2015, permanent colony established on the moon. 2032, commercial mining begins on Mars. 2040, deep space vessel Event Horizon sent to explore boundaries of solar system disappears beyond Neptune, the worst space disaster on record. 23rd of January 2040, Captain John Kilpatch makes his final log aboard the Event Horizon in deep space. 2046, the lost ship Event Horizon is discovered in low orbit around Neptune. 2047, the starship Lewis and Clark is sent to investigate and salvage the lost starship Event Horizon. They discover bad things.
Gosh, that's an understatement.
Yeah. So if we look at where we are right now in 2024, right, we're in the wrong timeline. And I want to be in the Event Horizon timeline, please.
I mean, that would basically put us on the 40k timeline, but yeah.
That's fine. That's so far in the future, it doesn't bother me none.
Yeah, I just want the moon colonies and us to be doing more than we are. God damn it.
Yeah, that would be good.
I'd settle for being in the Sequest timeline. Give me something.
The Sequest timeline means that we all get floppy hair again, and that's good.
What do you mean again?
Oh. No, I'm talking about that proper Home Improvement style floppy hairdo.
Oh,
yes. Kids had that level of floppy hair. I feel sorry for Sam Neill at this point, because that man looks cold. He's you could cut diamonds with his nipples. As you mentioned 40k,
yeah.
Do you want to get into the connection?
Let's, because
right,
if you've watched this movie, it's pretty. You'll probably think, hang on, they're traveling through hell. That sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. So the meme goes that 40k, Event Horizon is a 40k prequel, right? That's the basic meme, and obviously it's a big budget Paramount movie, so it's not a 40k prequel, no matter what you do.
Yeah,
officially or unofficially, that's the type of thing that big corporations get into. Like they get very litigious about.
Yes.
However, The guy who wrote it, Philip Eisner, is somebody that I was lucky enough to have a very short conversation with. Philip Eisner also did the Mutant Chronicles film, which you should always watch the Mutant Chronicles film. It's not properly Mutant Chronicles, but it's so damn good.
It's such a weird movie.
It is, and it uses the same kind of thing as Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow, and is a much better film than Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Yes.
I love Mutant Chronicles.
Yeah.
Like, possibly too much and possibly more than it deserves. It's a great film. Phil Eisner is a massive RPG nut. Like, we are talking, the guy knows more about tabletop games than either of us do. He is a walking encyclopedia on D&D, on Mutant Chronicles, on anything that you want to draw attention to that is a tabletop RPG. He knows depths about. And whilst he never meant for this to be a 40k prequel, that stuff was in his head from playing a lot of 40k. And so it's accidentally found its way out. And he was saying, wasn't something on purpose. It's just what was in my head at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I mean, if you've been doing all that, got you in all that stuff, then yeah, it's going to come out in some way.
Yep, 100%. And it's the way it works. It's anybody in the creative sphere knows that you constantly soak in information. It's always going to be there. And when you're given you have to write a script about this spaceship that gets stuck in hell. All right, where else are you going to go if you're a 40k guy? You're writing what you know, and all script writers do it.
Yeah, and
it's the best bean.
And the beautiful thing is that, although it's not officially anything to do with 40k. The beautiful thing about 40k though is the timeline's so long.
Oh yeah.
If you just want to say, in my head canon, Event Horizon is the first human attempt at FTL, and it happens to be a warp drive. And after this, they don't touch it for a very long time.
Absolutely. And, when I'm saying that it's not a 40k prequel, I mean, I'm talking officially.
Oh yeah.
You want to headcanon it, you headcanon it. Because the 40k timeline is insane and has such a huge black spot where you don't know anything that's happened up until to the techno barbarians.
Yeah, I mean,
you're more than welcome to
there's
that.
like 30,000 years of blank space to play with.
Absolutely.
It's the ultimate gaming in the gap space to headcanon whatever you like. I mean, I've always worked on logic, but if you can think of a sci-fi, a near human setting, it probably occurs at some point in the 40k timeline, but it's been erased because, well, that's how things go.
Do you know why they did that?
Oh, I remember reading this, but I've forgotten it. Go on, tell
what they want. What Rick Priestley wanted to do was bypass the Star Trek era of humanity, which is what everything before the Dark Age of technology is.
Yeah,
it's Star Trek.
Yeah, it's Star Trek science is magic stuff.
Yeah, but it's also that utopian. There's no such thing as money. You don't need money and all that. And it's all there, and it's Rogue Trader hints at it. Second Ed hints at it. Third Ed kind of hints at it, but you don't really get much of it anymore, other than like a throwaway line about it was the golden age of expansion.
Yeah, there's something beautiful about the idea that all of 40k is basically all these warring empires built on the bones of what came before.
Yeah, that's the point of 40k, isn't it? It's a decaying universe. The center cannot hold, but everyone is doing everything they can to fight it. We're about to come up to a scene which I'm going to, when it happens, explain why I hate Interstellar. The film Interstellar.
Yeah, Interstellar's it's a divisive film.
You can't say Contact's a bad film if you liked Interstellar.
Fair. Very fair. And I have a soft spot for Contact.
Contact's fine. It's
Yeah.
a solid little movie. It does what it needs to do. It's just everyone was expecting an alien, and it turns out to be a dad.
Mm.
But yeah, when Sam Neill does the warp hole explanation, me and my wife were in the cinema watching Interstellar, and they do this scene like almost word for word, and I was so angry, just so angry. How dare you?
Yeah.
Uh, Also, Interstellar annoys me because it's a cold, dead film where everything is horribly wrong, and the answer to it is have feelings. Get fucked.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Interstellar with a friend of mine. It was we went to Cardiff Comic Con. We stayed at a hotel there over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So on the Friday night, we got some dinner and went to the cinema to relax. And yeah, it was kind of not exactly the heartwarming jolt you needed after a long day of
Well,
travel.
it had no master. That was its major problem. Was it
Mm.
wasn't the science was too loose, and the
Yeah.
emotional heart was too cold. So it's like,
Mm.
well, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to pick here? And the
Yeah.
tidally locked planet was fun, but that's not how that works.
No.
Uh, you
That
don't
bit did
you don't get four tides coming in at the same time.
new.
It's not how gravity works.
Yeah. There were things about that film that are just like, oh, I mean, visually sumptuous, and there's some great ideas, but it's so blatantly manipulative.
Yes, 100%.
That's probably what hurts most about it to me.
Yeah. Unlike Event Horizon, it's not a good film. Event Horizon,
Mm.
however, is an amazing film. And let's talk about Larry Fishburne, because
Yes.
Lawrence Fishburne, he puts in more work than he should need to here. It's insanity. I mean, don't get me wrong, everyone's putting in the work. Everybody is working to the script, creating the characters, and they're getting everything on screen.
Mm.
That may sound like I've just described what all actors do. Not completely true.
No.
In a film like this, it's very easy for people to ham it up or people
Yeah.
not to take it seriously. Everybody in this film is taking it as serious as the grave.
Yeah.
Even the bits later on which are more humorous. Here I come, motherfuckers!
Yeah.
It's within the character's remit to do things like that.
Absolutely. They've committed to the bit.
100%.
Which
And
I
I think
think.
it's one of the reasons why this film is as good as it actually is. Because
Yeah.
everybody is working their ass off to get this to happen.
Absolutely. But you're right. Lawrence Fishburne is an actor who his career is genuinely a fascinating one because he got his break in.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Actually, no. Do you know his first feature film was Apocalypse Now?
You're right. Yes.
When he was 15, because he lied
Mm-hmm.
about how old he was as one of the gunners on the patrol boat.
He lied about how old he was in order to get into a film about Vietnam, like people were lying to get into the army.
Yeah, so oddly, one of the most offensive things about the film.
Yeah.
But and then to Americans he was quite famous from Pee-wee's Playhouse, which I never really knew about that in the UK. Did it ever hit over here?
No, it never happened over here. We never got to see Cowboy Curtis, much to my shame and annoyance. But even when I was in Dubai, we never got it there either.
Yeah,
I don't think it ever got out of America.
Which is so weird because if you talk to a lot of Americans of that age bracket, it was a big deal for them. Whereas for us, it was like watching Batman Returns to Americans. Penguin's parents, one of them being Pee Wee Herman, was a big thing. We're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Which is weird when you get Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
A
film that, honestly, there are very few films out in the world where something hits America and has no cultural impact in the rest of the world. And Pee-wee's Big Adventure is one of those films, because the
Yeah.
rest of the world barely understands it exists. Yeah, there is no real thought about it at all, unless you're an American, and it's fascinating to make.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's actually not a. It's a quite a good film. It's just
It's
it
solid.
it's just culturally, no one outside of America has any context for it because the way American broadcasting went, it's like if there was a Roland Rat film.
Yes.
It would have done gangbusters in the UK, but outside of the UK, meh.
Well, that's the thing. It happens the other way around. Like, we have things like
Yeah.
the Grand movie, which did really well for itself.
Mm.
The Magic Roundabout. That's a big one.
Yeah.
It does well for itself here, but outside of the UK, it doesn't really do anything. There's loads of films like that.
Yeah, I mean,
But
hell,
for it to be,
just look at how many big franchises there are in Japan and, well, in Asia that never impact outside of those territories, and yet are
it never goes the
huge.
other way. It never goes the other way from America to other countries.
Mm.
Anything that's big in America is usually big in other countries as it gets sold and
Yeah.
repackaged. Pee-wee's Playhouse and Pee-wee's Big Adventure, nothing.
Yeah.
The Ernest films is another one,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I would a lot love the Ernest films because I did see them all when we were living in Dubai. And I freaking love the Ernest films. They're
Mm.
so much fun. So cheap, but so much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're other ones that don't really get any love outside the US either.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just gonna say, I love how the chairs are all on gimbals in this.
I know, it's so good.
Yeah, it's a little thing because the ships in this film are kind of only paying a bit of lip service to real world design, but they get little bits of detail in there that make you think, oh yeah, this would actually work. That makes sense actually.
Hmm.
And whilst at the same time, the captain's chair also being one of the most terrifying things you'd ever want to sit in your life.
I mean, when things start shaking, you do not want to be on one of those gimbal chairs.
Yeah. But I do like how they've put the work in. So his chair, especially, has got duct tape over parts of it. You can see it's been repaired, and you know what? This film also fits quite nicely into the Alien universe.
It does.
Mm.
You can use Event Horizon, a thorough park, to get from the Alien universe to Starship Troopers.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
can't remember exactly how it works, but there is a way you can do it.
Oh,
I remember my old gaming group worked it out, and we're going back a long, long time now, so I'm struggling to remember it. But yeah, there was somebody worked out that you can make that connection.
I can see that. Yeah, that's fun.
But I think it doesn't work after Alien 3. I think after Alien, once you get to Alien Resurrection, it doesn't fit anymore. But yeah, what I'll do at some point is I'll give Chris a ring and say, "Hello, Chris. I haven't spoken to you in 12 years.
Do you want to?
Do you remember when you said?"
Yeah. I mean, I can
And
kind of post resurrection. I could see it kind of fitting in, maybe.
mm-hmm.
You need a bit of work, but it kind of depends on how you start tracking dates.
Yeah.
Because I
Well,
think,
that's the thing.
yeah,
Up until Alien 3, there was no real timeline. Unless, of course, you start using the comics, which you should, because those comics are excellent.
they are. Dark Horse. It's weird. People nowadays possibly don't really grasp how impactful it was, Dark Horse, having the licenses they did in the 90s.
Well, that's how Dark Horse stayed in the top tens
Yeah.
of each month's comic list. They brought out a new Alien series. That Alien series was getting into the top 10.
Yeah, and a lot of those series. I mean, yes, they did their sequel series, but they had to retcon eventually once 3 came
Yeah.
out. Same with their Terminator books and some of their Predator stuff. But they were putting out genuinely good stories month on month. And the beautiful thing about their Alien books, is that they did work to come up with a different. Because one of the joys of the Alien franchise, which some observers might not really grasp, is that one of the joys is working out how you put different groups of supposedly smart people or competent people into a
Hmm.
situation where a xenomorph occurs or multiple occur, and then see what happens to them. And
And then you have Prometheus,
yeah, yeah,
which is the exact opposite of that.
yeah, that's people who are book smart suddenly find themselves on a in the field, and it goes exactly as you'd expect. Sadly,
Yes.
uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but yeah, Dark Horse did have a hell of a tear between Star Wars, Alien, Terminator, and Predator.
And it's one of the things where I kind of miss when comics did sequels to films.
Hmm.
You don't really get it as much anymore. However, later this year, I think it is, there's a Event Horizon comic coming.
Ooh,
Give me,
I
right
mean,
into my veins.
you know what? It's weird. Since Marvel, because since Disney bought Fox, Marvel have got the rights to do the Alien and Predator books,
Yeah,
and they've been doing some really fun stuff. So they just finished Avengers versus Aliens. Quite,
I am waiting for the trade of that, and
yep.
I will be buying it because the reviews have been really good.
It stuck the landing to my mind.
Hmm.
They're in the middle of Predator versus Spider-Man, which is frankly bug nuts as is. They've done a Predator versus Black Panther and a Predator versus Wolverine book,
Hmm.
but they've had standalone books as well. So Predator's had its own little mini set of like 3 or 4 miniseries that tie together quite nicely, but also tie into all of the films. And some for Dark Horse books as well, which was quite fun. Alien, though, most of that stuff's been detached from the films.
Hmm.
Although they did do one series it featured Amanda Ripley,
That's
following
cool.
on
Was
from
that it?
Isolation.
That's really cool.
Uh,
I haven't
but
read that one.
but they had a a mini series
Ah,
What If Aliens, Burke, co-written by Paul Reiser,
oh, that's cool.
with the idea of what if Burke survived and got off RV 426.
Oh, I'm gonna have to read that.
Oh, it's great. It,
If
it
nothing else, just because I love Paul Reiser. The man's awesome.
it's excellent stuff. It does nothing to redeem Burke whatsoever. He remains the utter prick he
One of the
always was.
smartest things that Stranger Things ever did was get Paul Reiser as the head of the scientists, because you expect him to turn bad at any point. You expect him to be a shit at any point, and he isn't, and it's so good.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that really Burke's the only reason people think of him like that. Because
Oh yeah, yeah,
otherwise,
yeah.
almost,
He's a sitcom actor.
yeah, I mean, Three Men and a Little Lady,
Hmm.
a lot of the TV stuff he did, um, as Eddie Murphy's partner in his Detroit partner in the Beverly
Yep,
Hills Cops films.
yep.
He's always been a straight up guy. It's just Burke is probably the role he's now most famous for, playing the
Because
ultimate
he
corporate
does
asshole.
an amazing job at him. That's the thing.
Yeah, there's layers to Burke. It's great.
I'm trying to remember the name of the sitcom that he was in, because the sitcom's really weird because it's the first appearance of what's her name from Friends? Phoebe from Friends.
Okay,
Because
that's
she predates Friends.
that's interesting.
Um,
See, Friends actually kind of because all of the actors I think
Mad
are,
About You.
yeah, because I think Friends, the only two who weren't really in anything before that were Matt LeBlanc and I mean Jennifer Aniston. I think she'd done Leprechaun 3 by that point,
Hmm.
but otherwise everyone, they were the two lesser known names on the cast,
Right.
which is
Right, yeah, Lisa Kudrow
mm,
appears as Phoebe Buffay in Mad About You before she appears in Friends.
Oh, she appears as the same character. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's really
Although now
interesting.
I say that out loud, I think she's a sister. I think she's a twin sister. It's not Phoebe. It's Ursula. That's all right. It's Ursula Buffet, and she. Why do I know this much about Mad About
Oh,
You?
that's even more bizarre.
Yeah, so she's the identical twin sister of Phoebe Buffet, and the pair of them kind of turn up in each other's shows.
Yeah,
It's a really strange little moment.
yeah. And it kind of sucks that we're doing this whilst one of the more fascinating bits of a film is going on with the drive activating, and just in about to go on a bit of a wander, shall we say?
The idea of the drive being this sentient thing. Did you ever see Sphere?
I've seen bits of Sphere. It's one I never really got around to watching all of, sadly.
Terrible film, amazing book. Right? And there's parts of this that remind me of the Michael Crichton book Sphere.
Yeah.
Because the idea of this thing that's in the center of the ship that is kind of calling to you and drawing you to it, and it's trying to communicate with you, but it doesn't have a common language. It is basically, I mean, it's communicating with you by going, "Hey, motherfuckers, you're going to hell."
Yeah.
Rather than one in Sphere, which is a lot more subtle.
Yeah.
I love that freaking effect when he comes out of the goo. It's such a simple effect, but oh my god, is that effective when he just gets pulled out of it. Oh. One of the things I really wanted to get into as well was the spacesuits. How good is that design for a spacesuit?
Yeah.
And how much does it look like the Votan?
Yes and yes. They are really good spacesuits. And I love
when the Votan got announced, the first thing I thought of was, well, I'm going to have to paint them up as Event Horizon crew members.
Yeah. And I love the idea the team has a dedicated rescue specialist. It's one of those things that you think about it, and it's like, yeah, that they would have that. That makes perfect sense. You would on a space-going vessel. Logically, you would have someone on board who is trained just for rescue ops, no matter what the ship is. That makes sense.
The sheer amount of world building that takes place in Event Horizon.
Yeah.
When people talk about Event Horizon, what the conversation always goes to is the more grotesque and the gruesome parts of it. Because it is a horror film at the end of the day. The entire reason it was made was because mobile phones were starting to get more popular, and people were thinking, if you're in a haunted house and you have a mobile phone, you're not ever really alone. So let's put some people in a position where they are completely isolated. They have no way out. And that's what the common starting point for Event Horizon is. One of the things that it does, though, and it does it amazingly that you never see much discussion about, is how much it builds a world around what's going on here. This is a corner of a larger story. There is more things happening.
Yeah.
Each of these characters have something that happened before, and if they'd survived, would happen after.
Yes.
Yeah, spoilers. And it is rare to have. I mean, it didn't used to be rare. This is a thing that I feel is always worth a discussion. There's a lot of show don't tell that happens here, where you get to know about these characters and the world that they live in from little throwaway lines, from little bits and bobs all over the place, like bits of the set design, the set dressing when they're on the Lewis and Clark. I thought I said Lois and Clark there, which is always a thing that comes into my mind.
I mean, honestly, I'd have taken either name for the ship, to be fair. Either one works.
Lewis and Clark, of course, were the famous American explorers who mapped out big chunks of America. or the American North, anyhow. And so, yeah, a lot of the set design leans into that world building. A lot of the costume design leans into the world building, and it's a lot of smart decisions being made by people behind the scenes that you don't ever think about.
Yeah.
And that's the point. You're not supposed to. You're never meant to think too much about the funky spaceman's uh, locker.
Yeah.
But your eyes see it, your brain registers it, and you take in the information, and you know who he is, what he is, and the life that he leads. It's genuinely clever stuff that
Absolutely. And it also is
over
very,
time doesn't get used as much.
yeah. The film trusts the audience to pick up on the cues. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that has fallen by the wayside. It's not all the time. And all right, it's hard to show. Audiences have not gotten less willing to read things in, but and filmmakers aren't unwilling to make films like this. The issue, I think, is that the system discourages it. They want films
Yeah,
that are easily
they want
digestible.
lowest common denominator movies.
Yeah, and there is nothing
Um,
wrong with films like that, but it's become the dominant presence at the expense,
yes.
and and because of the expense of filmmaking, it's
Yeah.
you
I
don't really
think
have the
there's an
freedom
entire
anymore.
conversation to be have about critical thinking needs to be exercised. And
Mm,
if you don't have something in front of you that makes you exercise it, you would start to lose it. Um, and I'm not saying that people are getting dumber. That's not what I'm saying in any way, shape, or form. At least not when it comes to films.
mm,
But if the entertainment that you're experiencing doesn't try to challenge you, doesn't throw these things in, you start to stop looking for it. You
yeah.
stop. It's entirely subconscious thing,
Mm,
and it's one of the issues that I've had with, for example, the Marvel movies over the last 10 years, is that because they are so expensive to make, and they are insanely expensive to make,
yeah.
there isn't the ability to have those risks, to have those little bits of work in the background, because every single dollar being spent has to be on screen. It There's a wonderful image
Yeah.
out there of somebody. I think the tagline was "making the next Marvel film," and it's just burning like $10 notes,
Yeah,
because that in a lot of ways that's what it is. That's how expensive those films have become to
they
make.
are. And for certain things, it also means that when those films actually do try, they don't. Sometimes the audiences don't give them a chance. Sometimes the critics don't give them a chance, and because of
Yeah,
that, or because they may not attract a big enough audience, they quotation marks underperform despite making hundreds of millions of dollars.
yeah, because
And
the beast is too big and it
yeah,
costs too much to make.
and it's frustrating because I mean, I don't know about you, but I thoroughly enjoyed the Marvels, Eternals, Shang-Chi. I really enjoyed Thunderbolts. It's
I
just gone.
haven't seen Thunderbolts yet. I
Mm.
do need to get to it.
Yeah, I mean, I get that they're not everyone's cup of tea. I get that they're not perfect movies, but they are entertaining films, but are not stupid films either.
Oh yeah.
And but because there was they weren't what people were expecting or what
Hmm.
had come before, that turned
But
people off.
the thing is, you can subvert expectations. Iron Man
Mm.
3 is a great film,
Yeah.
right? Iron Man 3 subverts your expectations, and instead of giving you the bad guy, it gives you something else.
Mm.
And the bad guy ends up being something else. And that's great because it's a surprise, it's a shock. And I think people got annoyed at it because they felt they were fooled, they felt they were hoodwinked.
And they
And
were, but that was the intent. And
exactly,
and
it was part of the experience.
yeah. And honestly, when that reveal happened in Iron Man 3, I damn near applauded
Oh, I was dying with laughter. It was hilarious. It was
because
such a good moment.
such a subversion.
Yeah.
And it also avoided what a lot of people were really worried about with the Mandarin as a character.
Hmm.
Because he's a
Is a throwback to
yes,
a less enlightened age.
yes. And Marvel, bless them, have struggled over the years with the character. I mean,
Yeah,
in
that's
the
why you don't
last
see him very often.
yeah, I mean, they actually reached a really good point with him about a decade and a half ago during Matt Fraction's run.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of been the last time we've seen Mandarin. He hasn't actually been back since then.
No.
Which is weird to realise that it's been like over a decade since we've seen his Iron Man's big bad guy. But it hasn't mattered.
Ugh. Genuinely, this scene puts ice in my veins. It's
Yeah.
because once it ties into what I was saying. Sorry, I've completely derailed you there.
No,
I do apologize.
go on.
Because it ties into what I was just saying about the world building that's going on. She sees the boy. She doesn't say, "Timmy, my son," or anything like that. But because you saw the video earlier on, you know that it's her son. You also saw him that he was in a wheelchair, and what the hallucinations are showing is his legs completely messed up with gangrene and all these horrible injuries.
Yeah.
You've just been given all of the information about her and her relationship with her son without anybody saying anything, without anybody making a scene about it, without anybody pushing to get that information across. It's all just happened in screen in 3 different scenes, and it's freaking top-notch work.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my rant over. It's just solid, because that's all this film ever does. Is it just constantly builds up. There you go, case in point. It just constantly builds up the tension and fills in these little blocks as it goes along behind it, and it's brilliantly paced, it's brilliantly shot, and it is brilliantly staged.
Mm.
And I say shot and stage like they're 2 separate things, and that's because they are.
Yeah.
What we're seeing in screen is amazingly put together, but the staging of everything that's happening, the events and the locations and the positions and presences in the spaces, is all on purpose, and it is perfect.
Yeah.
Then we get this, everything's just been this horrible, muddy, grey and browns, and then we have Sam Neill in this luminous green, which sets you off because it's not the same as everywhere else.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I feel I could probably start writing essays on this goddamn film because of the amount of times I've dived into scene by scenes on it.
Yeah, it'd be so. I mean, I'm sure there are out there essays on this film because it's a fascinating one to dig into. And you were saying about how the production was so messed up.
Yeah, so a lot of what happens here is as often happens, there's a lot of hearsay, shall we say, on what was going on here. The film came in slightly over budget. People started to panic, mostly because the story of Dr. Moreau was getting around.
Yeah.
And people did not want to have anything like that Dr. Moreau nonsense again.
Yeah. That was rather infamous at the time, I remember.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that film tripled its budget. That's how far over it went. The most interesting thing about that was the director, Richard Stanley, was fired from the film, but instead of leaving the set, he went for a wander about in the jungle, got off his face on ayahuasca, joined a local tribe, and then snuck back on the film as an extra.
As you do.
Because Richard Stanley's fascinating. So, yeah, what you had was Paul W.S. Anderson was inundated after Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was a massive success, believe it or not. Bizarre to say, but it made a lot of money back on a very small budget. He was then offered to direct Mortal Kombat Annihilation. He turned that down. And he was also offered X-Men, what would become the 2000s X-Men movie. Right? But he didn't want to do another PG film. He wanted rated. So he got sent the script from Phil Eisner for Event Horizon, which they've been trying to get made for for a few years actually.
Okay.
I think the script had been kicking around since about '93 or so. Um, and Anderson's talked about how it's a very dense script,
Mm.
and he felt that there was a lot of stuff being lost in it. So he started to make changes. The studio went, "No, we're not making changes." It's like, well, if I make these changes, I can bring the film in under budget. And there's a lot of back and forth going on.
Yeah.
Um, one of the things that he was trying to do here was trying to marry the first Alien with the 1976 Solaris.
Mm.
Now, when I say that out loud, look at what look at what you're seeing on screen, and you can see it, can't you?
Yeah. I mean, that's another one. The remake of you could pair this with either version of Solaris. To be fair,
Oh yeah, 100%.
ooh, this Solaris and Supernova. That's a head trip.
Oh God, yes, please, and then Sunshine as well.
Oh.
So film begins. I'm trying to get through all this as much as I can because it is fascinating
Yeah.
stuff. Film begins. The actors were not on purpose, but they were kept very isolated. They were all
Mm.
filming in Pinewood, and nobody kind of left anything. So they all kind of spent time around each other. They didn't go anything else, mostly because the filming shoots were really grueling, and there was a lot of stuff going on, like people being flung around for 12 hours a day, to get the zero gravity shots.
Yeah.
So for every zero gravity shot that you see, you're seeing the culmination of like 2, 3, 4, 5 days of work.
Yeah.
So the crew starts to get a little bit of cabin fever. They start feeling really weird about everything that's going on, and I think that kind of comes out in the performances. They start getting a real strange feeling going on.
Mm.
Um, in fact, one of the stunt guys actually goes out and says that he felt that the film's production was cursed because of various stunt things that went not horribly wrong, but you know kept going wrong, and all these weird things happening.
Okay.
Studio is constantly like, "What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing?" to kind of get on with the job, as studios were wont to do at that point. Because, as I say, you've got the entire shadow of Dr. Moreau hanging over it, where a
Mm.
genre film is being looked at very carefully.
Yeah.
Lost in Space, of course, is another one that happened not
Yeah.
too long before that, and that was a massive bomb,
It
huge,
was.
huge bomb. So the edit comes out, and the first edit gets shown, and people go, "Fuck me, that is too much gore.
Mm.
That is way, way, way too much." 20 minutes is then cut out of the film before
That's.
its release.
I always find that bonkers
20
because
minutes.
because this film's only an hour 35 in this
Yeah,
version of it. So 20 minutes. That's a lot. That's a quarter of this film near enough.
yeah.
That
But that's
that's
how much is edited out of the film, which I think works in its favor because it means what you get to see isn't. It's enough to kind of cause
yeah,
you to visualize things
absolutely.
without ever getting bogged down with it. And I
Yeah,
think it works in its favor. I
mm,
think the edit probably is a lot better than what you ended up with.
no
Um,
doubt. It's a very lean film, and there's something to be said for not being shown everything, just being given a hint. That's it.
yeah,
Oftentimes, that's much more effective than actually seeing the reality.
yeah. So, whilst nobody out there has really spoken about what it is that's been cut out, Visions of Hell, it does seem that there is an entire sequence of hell being a physical place that isn't in the film,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And the only reason that I know that is that one of the DP guys has spoken about the sets that were made that had this influence from Bosch and Bruegel,
ooh,
which that's not what the ship looks like. So that to me is they made a hell set.
yeah,
So that's whatever that is, that's gone. Then the film comes out. There's a load of stuff in there that is really, it's like really, really smart, solid stuff. And then the film bombs. And until it comes out as a home video release, it doesn't really do anything. I remember going to see this at the cinema, and I loved it. Really, really cool. And it was a shame that it bombed. But as it then starts to happen on DVD, it starts getting traction. People start getting more interested in it, and it ends up getting a cult following, which is exactly what it should have always had. However, the cut footage, footage, the original edit, and all of the stuff that was excised from the film is or was stored in what Paramount used at the time for its film transfers and celluloid, a Transylvanian tin mine, which then burnt down.
Yeah, that bit always makes you go, wait, what?
Yeah. Absolutely insane. Can I pause this for a second?
Absolutely.
I need to just quickly answer a phone call.
No worries. Put a pause on that.
I'll just do a
Good.
clap.
Hey. And we're back.
Look at his big ears. There. That's the saying. That's the line that never gets spoken about. The dark inside me. The idea that he's now been completely infected by whatever the hell. I mean, they say about going to hell.
Yeah.
And it's not, is it? It's a dimension of pain. It's the Hellraiser dimension or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting point, actually. What do you think it is?
You know what? I've never been asked that. I mean, part of me thinks that, honestly, you mentioned Hellraiser. I think if anything, yeah, it's a bit of that going on.
Mm-hmm. It's another realm of existence that is so alien to what we think of. You know, what we would be able to fully perceive, that it just comes across as being nothing but chaotic pain.
Yeah. I might just read it as pain/hell, and our bodies. I don't even think there's anything acting on for people. It's just their minds are reacting to it, and the bodies are reacting in turn.
Mm-hmm.
What's the term? Psychosomatic, where your body.
Psychosomatic.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's literally that. It's not actually doing, and it's not an entity doing anything to them. It's their minds breaking and doing it to themselves.
Yeah, that's actually quite a nice idea. Well, not a nice idea. That's the wrong way of putting it.
It makes sense. But I mean, there's that, or the idea that whatever they did to the ship. Because I think we actually don't know a lot about the Event Horizon itself. Not really.
No.
So the fact that there's a feeling of an intelligence inside the ship. Well, who says the ship wasn't intelligent to start with?
Abominable intelligence.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we know that Weir was building the ship, or he was the designer, but we don't know about anyone else who was involved. It's hard to believe that he's certainly arrogant enough to say that he designed it himself. It was his.
Mm-hmm.
He did everything. But
I've always liked to think that there's some form of cult that this, we as an unwitting proxy,
yeah,
for want of a better term, that ended up being the guy who's created this based on various schematics and stuff he's been given. Here's the ideas we've got. Can you make this work? And that's what it comes from. That this isn't an accident. That this is very much on purpose, and just
Yeah,
we as the idiot that got dragged into it.
yeah. And he's the genius who never they gave him the missing piece for his own
Yeah.
personal puzzle, and he never thought to ask, well, where did this come from?
You spent so long thinking about if you could, you didn't stop to think about if you should.
Yeah. Oh, I love the cryo sleep tubes in this film as well.
Yeah.
And it's great how, even though it's pretty much the same design of the tubes, the difference in how the Event Horizon and the Lewis and Clark versions look.
Yeah, the Lewis and Clark is really functional,
Mm,
whilst the Event Horizon's got this cathedral
yeah,
look to it.
very cathedral to all these curves where they're unnecessary.
Hmm. It's very Baroque,
Mm,
much like it was ritualistic, as in designed by a cult.
what are the odds?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, the beautiful thing about Event Horizon is you can just slot it into easily minimum half a dozen different horrific sci-fi horror settings, and it works. It makes
Yes.
sense for Mr. Chronicles. It makes sense for Hellraiser. Makes sense for 40K. You could
Mm-hmm.
fit it into you could fit it into one of the Treks easy enough. That this has been done around the time of World War III, so it
Yep.
gets
Yeah.
lost and no one tries it again because, well, they literally nuked the data for it.
There's
Uh,
something that you know I said before about how there's a lot of intelligent design happening in set dressing.
mm,
So that sequence there where you have Bree and Sam just having a good old chinwag, that's a understatement. Outside the window, you have all of this smoke blowing by, and it's not a painting. There is somebody there with a smoke thrower making these waves of atmosphere in the
yeah,
window.
and
And that's what I'm talking about.
and it would have been so easy if that just be a matte painting,
Yeah.
but it didn't. They put the work in, and it gives them. You don't even think about it, not unless you're paying attention to it, but your mind thinks, oh yeah, this is actually they're in an environment where stuff is moving. It's not just the
Yeah. It's not
traditional.
static.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, most science fiction, if you go anywhere near a gas giant, yeah, it'll be a matte painting of clouds.
Hmm.
This feels much more, and how to it's so that it's Neptune. Neptune is our solar system's weirdest fucking planet.
Well,
It
yes.
is. It's got the longest orbit, if I remember
Yep.
rightly. It's on the weird. Its axis is 90 degrees to what all the others are. It's just such a weird planet. It makes no sense compared to the others.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
it's
what
such
is
a
it?
weird, and it's such an odd choice that they chose to put it there.
Well, it makes
Not
perfect sense. I mean, what you've got there is what's the rotation for a going around the sun? Is it like 150 years or something like
something
that?
like that. I mean, Neptune is, some of our planets can take longer to get to, but their orbits will give you better odds of, will bring you closer at some point
Yeah.
quicker. Neptune doesn't. Neptune, if it's on the way out, your best bet is to take your head between your legs and pray you can make it back and what you've got left. Uh, again, it's one of those choices for when you stop and think about it. It's like, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense for this movie. That it would be Neptune, the planet that's
Oh yeah.
most weird in our solar system. Yeah. Like I say,
It's,
intelligent bits of design work,
oh, absolutely,
just little things.
absolutely. Yeah, and it is full of them. It is, so much thought has gone into making the sets, and it's a mid-budget sci-fi horror film.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah,
that's the thing. It
and
wasn't a massive budget at the time. It was quite modest for these things.
would you like to know my weirdest fact about Neptune? Actually,
Go on.
just because it's a quiet moment.
Hmm.
So Neptune is 30 times as far from the sun as Earth.
That tracks, yeah.
So that's why it's so cold and why it has so much methane. But if you think about this within the film's logic, that's such a perfect environment to get these characters into.
Yeah.
Because you are so far out in the solar system, you might as well not be in it.
Yeah.
Because even to get back to somewhere where you can get help is going to take a longer time than you've got.
Absolutely.
So good.
Yeah.
I do kind of really want to read the original script for this just to
Oh.
see just exactly what was cut down to make it into the shooting script.
Yeah. You know, I'd love someone to do a written history of Event Horizon. Get interviews with as many folks who are willing to talk about it, just to have it, a record of it. Because I love a good making of book.
Oh yeah.
And I know
Oh
that
god. Oh no.
sometimes
Why'd you say that to me?
I didn't mean you.
Oh no. What have you done? Oh no, man.
But you know what I mean? Sometimes it can be really interesting to hear from the folks who were involved directly.
Yeah,
With some
an oral
separation as
history
well.
book is always good. Yeah. I was going to say that an oral history is always fascinating. The pinnacle of that has been Games Master, an oral history.
Yeah.
Where they just got everyone who worked on Games Master to sit in a room for the best part of a week and wrote all about it.
Yeah.
It's having something like that for Event Horizon would be genuinely fascinating to me.
And honestly, the biggest drawback to it is that it doesn't have this. It still doesn't have the same sort of cultural cachet to it that Blade Runner does. Blade Runner's had some great making of books and
Yeah.
documentaries over the years, because it's become this. Would it be fair to call Blade Runner the biggest cult classic in science fiction?
I think so. I mean, Star Trek and Star Wars have like that mass market penetration that they've always managed to get.
Yeah.
Starship Troopers
was a reasonable hit. 2001, not really a cult film. That was quite a mainstream film.
I mean, that's more of a filmmaker's film than it is a sci-fi cult film.
Blade Runner was kind of.
Well, Blade Runner was an absolute failure on launch.
Absolutely. I mean, and its making was
hellish.
Yeah, epically so. But in the years since its release, I mean, hell, even in the early 90s, oh Lord, I mean, it was one of the first VHSs I ever bought myself. The director's cut. I own not quite double-digit versions of Blade Runner, but more than a few.
Yep, I've got the Final Cut box set, which is one of my. Even though I don't actually have that many DVDs, I refuse to let the Final Cut box set, 5-disc box set,
is that
go.
Did you get the tin edition?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got that on launch. I got that the day it arrived.
Yeah, I bought that, and on the proviso it would become my Christmas present for that year.
Weirdly enough, same. I got my dad. Yeah. I bought it and then just said, "Give us the money for this," because it was expensive. If memory serves me right. I think it was like £40.
I mean, I got it when I was working for Borders, so I got it with my staff discount. Still a reasonable chunk of change for what was a very nice set, though. I mean, I got
beautiful set.
I mean, I picked up a few years back after that the Blu-ray version with the spinner in it.
Yes.
For the Final Cut, just for completionist's sake.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's one of those films where, because there are so many different cuts and there's so much material available as well, That's the thing. Blade Runner, if they could do that, because of the issue with edited with footage, like you described, the fire, you can never have it at Event Horizon. That's crazy to think that if that footage existed, then
you would have got a very different film. Yeah, there would have been a director's cut released by now that had a
absolutely,
very, very different experience.
yeah. But it
And it doesn't. It's gone. It is 100% gone. There is rumors kicking around that Anderson's been trying to like get bits and bobs from here and there to try and rebuild it, but that's been going on for a few years now.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Honestly, you could understand it because
because the film has found an audience and it is well loved within that audience.
I mean, it's one of those films you can't imagine that he made this without caring.
No, I think he did care. I think
Yeah.
he cared quite. I mean, going back to what I was saying before about the choices that were made. So, all the scenes that you see of the sort of naked people abusing the hell out of each other, right? Those scenes were filmed completely separately to everyone else.
Yeah.
So what you have is a casting call went out for porn actors and actual real life amputees.
I heard
who
about
all
it, yeah.
got paid the proper wage for appearance. So whatever happens to Paul W.S. Anderson after this, where he stops giving half a shit, I don't know. But at this point, he is making decisions that really sound like he gives a damn about what he's trying to do.
I mean, it's easy to imagine that possibly his experience on this film is why his subsequent filmography, not so if he stops caring, but he tries to aim more for what's commercial rather than what he thinks he considers more artistically viable. And man, this fall always does me every time.
Right. That fall and her black eyes. It genuinely, the fact that she has completely black eyes as a dead body is
yeah.
God damn, the decision making in this film is so good.
Why does the door have spikes in it? Why?
To work the electromagnetic waves to stop them from building up. Do you know that Eisner wasn't the first scriptwriter for this?
Oh, really?
So the original idea for this, whatever that was, and there isn't a huge amount of information. No, I hate this scene. This scene makes me so... poor Sam Neill. He really gets across the gut-wrenching pain of everything. Philip Eisner, it was his first proper full-blown screenplay. But the first person to write the idea that the producers were trying to get across was Andrew Kevin Walker, who you may know as the writer of Seven.
That makes a lot of sense.
Honestly, I've realised that we're quite far through the film, and most of the interesting things I know about I have not said, so I'm going to try and rattle off a load of them now.
Please do, because I'm utterly fascinated. But I'm always game to hear behind the scenes gubbins about things like this.
I've just had this horrible realization that I might be to Event Horizon accidentally become for Havoc, which is oh no. Which, if you don't know what the joke is there, do a Google search for Bluebird's 1997 game Havoc. I can't find any new information on it because all Google brings me is the stuff I've done.
Well, that's the pitfall of being too damn good at what you do. you become,
and it started happening with Warhammer Monthly. I was doing a recording of Warhammer Monthly the other day, yesterday, in fact, And I was like, oh, I wonder if Dwarf Lords ever comes back. Did a Google search for One Monthly Dwarf Lords, and all that comes up is me. God damn it!
I mean, in fairness, you and Turnbull have been killing it with that recording.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I'll be glad when we get to issue 7, because that's when we really hit our stride, and we're.
I mean, I'm waiting for you guys to get to the what if issue where they they swap the characters from a fantasy to sci-fi and sci-fi to fantasy.
We're going to leave that one because it ends up not being in the full proper release schedule, but we're going to leave that one until we can find physical issues, because I think that's something we want to do. We've got an idea for that one, and we want to do it a little bit special.
Fair dues.
Yeah, interesting facts about Event Horizon, because I've got tons of them.
Yep.
So Notre Dame is inside the Event Horizon.
Okay.
So when they were doing the design work for the ship, they went and digitally scanned Notre Dame in order to get the architecture.
Oh.
So what they did was they digitally scanned it, took it apart, and rebuilt it in the space as a spaceship.
That's genuinely fascinating. That makes a lot of sense for.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the main engine thruster pods are the towers from Notre Dame.
Huh.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Oh God, what else do I know?
I'm just thinking, this film is an hour 10 in. There's 24 minutes left, and it's weird to think how quickly this film starts to ramp up.
The pacing is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Because while you get that very slow to it and creeping atmosphere starts to happen, when things go wrong, they go wrong. And genuinely having a character flying off into space in just a spacesuit, that terrifies me in ways I cannot fully comprehend.
Yeah. It's.
2 other films have done this to me. One of them is a really good film with George Clooney and Sandra Bullock, whose name...
Gravity.
Gravity. The way that he flies off in Gravity is, oh God, I can't help but imagine what that's like.
Yep.
And then there was that Life, which isn't a great film, but it is fun. And the scream of the guy as he's flung into space, as the alien life form is flung onto Earth, is, oh God, that I felt that in my soul.
Yeah. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's one of those fears that nowadays it is probably the biggest fear we have left to us as humans.
Oh, that and accidentally going underwater.
Yeah. And
the shit underwater I'm very scared of.
Yeah, because underwater people forget that you don't have to go very far down before it's very, very inhospitable to what we can do.
There's a site out there where you scroll down the page and it gives you atmospheric pressures and where you find things, and it gets right down to the bottom of the Marianas Trench, and we got a lot further down than I thought we had.
Oh yeah.
It's like, but that was like in the 70s.
Yep.
This scene's just reminded me of something else. I was going to mention it. This is the problem. I've got so much to say about the film that I kind of get in my own way. So when this was greenlit, how it was, how the producers kind of gave it to the studio was, this is a dark Star Trek, right? It's a dark horror take on Star Trek. So the producer, oh, excellent, right. And that's one of the reasons that they got signed off on. When they start getting the dailies back, they realize that what you have is The Shining meets Hellraiser in space. And that's one of the reasons why the studio starts getting involved a lot more, because this isn't what we signed up for. This isn't the money that we've given you.
I mean, what did they think? Dark Star Trek?
Yeah. Because I mean, that's why Paramount picked it up. Yeah, it's because they were thinking, oh yeah, get another franchise going.
Hang on, I'm just thinking because this was 97, so DS9 was in full flow. Next Gen had finished. We'd had First Contact. Yeah, or was that still to come?
First Contact was 96, so
We'd had
that's
First
come out.
Contact, which is kind of about as dark as Trek had gotten to that point.
Yes, and it's also my favorite Star Trek.
With good reason.
Oh, it's so good.
But
So good.
you kind of have to think that's more of the producers for not thinking through what they were getting.
Yeah.
And this is, gee.
It's much, much, much more than a Dark Star.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I also love that there's no actual weapons in this. So everything is is repair gear basically.
Yeah.
It's tools.
There's no guns. It's a really interesting decision that's been made. You know, the closest thing you get to a gun is the riveter, which is, I mean, it is a horrible, violent thing that you could use. What the hell was that? Hang on. So, I've never noticed that before. There's something above the door when he's picking up, when Weir's standing up, and it's just something moving, and I couldn't quite see what it was. When I finish doing this, I'm going to have to go back and have a look at that. Never picked. It's like a little mechanism or something that's just kind of ticking away. Yeah.
I mean, they did do a good job with all the greebles on this set, though, didn't they?
Yeah.
Just the incidental things and especially on the Event Horizon, it's all stuff that makes you know it. You don't think about it, but your brain reads it as wrong.
Yes.
And not making sense.
Trying to point out as well that Sam Neill had to spend 4 to 5 hours in makeup getting his eyes done.
Jesus.
Do you know how they did the hollowed out eyes?
I'm gonna assume it was a really gnarly paint effect, because
no, it's a smart piece of work.
Go on.
So what they did was they would scan a ping pong ball that was the size of your eye cavity. So what you had to do is you had to stand with a pair of ping pong balls up against your eyes, and if they were the right size, they would then scan those ping pong balls, then chop them in half. You had to hold it in place on your face for the scenes where you're acting. Then they digitally removed the entire ping pong ball.
Oh.
So that's how you get the holes in the eyes. It's a smart piece of work.
Yeah, it's a hell of a bit of makeup, though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when the eyes sewn up, that's all prosthetic, obviously. I love the fact that he knows where to shoot when his eyes are sewn up. Oh.
I mean, like he says, well, you don't need eyes, and clearly he don't need them himself.
I read that as being the ship is transmitting all the information to him. I mean, he knows where everybody is because the ship knows where everybody is. The ship can feel it.
Yeah. I mean, am I wrong in saying there's a read to this where you can say that the ship is perhaps a copy of his wife's mind?
No, I think that's very much on purpose. I think there's definitely a way of saying that her angry spirit is the reason the ship's as messed up as it is and why it's called for him. There's also another read that the ship's using his wife as a way of getting to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I also think there's a read where Sam Neill dies in that hallucination. Yeah,
and this ain't Weir that we're talking to anymore.
No. I think there's definitely a thing to say that he is very much dead, and the ship is using him to get to everyone. Because I mean, the human body does not survive having that much blood come out of it when you have gouge.
No.
I do like the fact that Jones there, she comes off 101 Dalmatians to do this.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to remember.
She wasn't. It was one of those weird bits where, because of 101 Dalmatians, see what I mean? I've got so much bloody information about this film. It's insane. The character was male until Anderson saw 101 Dalmatians and went, her, and that changed the character.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that line with Cooper at the start, when they're coming out of the stasis, his bit of innuendo.
Yes.
Was that in there before or after? Because that's an interesting one to think about. Because if that had been in the script beforehand, that's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's an odd progressive piece of characterization. I'm going to say no, it probably wasn't.
No, probably not. But
because from what I understand, the script was like constantly evolving all the way up until filming started.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see that though with Stark, that that character. I mean, there's nothing really in the film other than that line, but marks as being a female character. It's like Ripley. There's in Alien. There's nothing about Alien and Ripley's depiction in that film that's gender specific.
No.
And honestly, that's kind of really that's kind of how you want the film to be, you know?
Yeah, 100%. You want to have the character. The fact that it's a female or male character shouldn't really be that important, unless it's important to the story.
Yeah, but I mean, what was it Cooper, Childs, the other female character? Her relationship with her son, that could have been either male or female.
Yeah,
it didn't have it could arguably
her performance comes across as a mothering performance because that's what she's being.
Yeah,
she is the mother to all of the crew. But that's the performance. That's not the script.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of interesting that Stark and Cooper are the only two members of the crew who don't really get messed with by the Event Horizon.
No, they get like there's no subtlety to what happens to them. Which, do you want to hear my theory on why that's the case?
Is it along the lines of they don't have the same sort of trauma buried away that
the
others do, or they dealt with it better?
Because these two are more innocent, they haven't seen the things that everyone else has seen. You would have thought that the ship would try its best to break them harder.
Yeah.
But they don't have enough things to fall back on. My theory is that the reason these two don't get fucked around as much is because the Event Horizon needs somebody to take it back.
Ooh, yeah, that works, yeah.
Yeah, there has to be survivors here. I mean, the ship's got what it wanted. It's got Weir. It's got Lawrence Fishburne here. It's I can't see him as anyone but Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, whatever he's in, it's Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, and as much as the performance is great, but he is Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah, so it's got what it wants. It has the crew that it needs to take back to wherever it's going. But I firmly believe that the reason that Stark to survive is to take it back with them. Not as much the physical aspect, but the emotional aspect, the trauma that they've experienced here, because that's its way in, that's its way to get to Earth. And if there had been a sequel, if there'd been a continuation to the story, I think you would have seen the Event Horizon appearing in Earth's atmosphere because these two have brought back their memories, their experience of it.
Oh, I like that. That's got possibilities, doesn't it?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
The best thing that you can hope for if you encounter this horror ship is to space yourself, because If you die on the ship, you are drawn into the hell dimension. If you survive, it can follow you. And I think that gives it a lot of stuff to work with. As I say, that's my fan theory. That's my
fan theories
my thoughts on it. Yes, absolutely. And I've spent that much time with this film that over the years that I've got so many different aspects that I could get into. The problem is, because it's not a very long film, I don't have the time to talk about all of it, and also the actual film as it's happening in front of us, and also all the discussion points that we're making.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him. Look at him. He's all messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to have to write a Sunday musings on Event Horizon.
Yay! Mission accomplished.
It's going to take this week off, goddammit.
I'm sorry.
I might still do that, actually.
Take it off. Let your thoughts. What's a word? Ferment for a bit.
Yeah. There's one thing I don't need. It's time to ferment thoughts on Event Horizon.
Yeah.
As you might have guessed from the amount of things I've already thrown at you.
True. But I've thoroughly enjoyed this because, as a rule, me and Adam tend to not always talk as much about the films themselves. But this has been fun purely because Event Horizon is a film you can really go into.
Oh, you can. Yeah.
There's so much. And getting back to the 40k thing, it does just feel like one of those cursed vessels. There's a lot of it in how they've depicted the Tara Saren's relation to the Conqueror.
Oh, yes.
Heresy and post-heresy.
Yes, 100%.
With the exception that the Conqueror kind of is more like a puppy to Saren, which it wants her attention and her love more than anything else.
I do have to say as well, and it's something I haven't really mentioned, because I've talked about the script in great detail. We talked about the set designs and all the work that's been done. There's the only bad scene in the entire film: slow motion hand slap. Just didn't need to be there. It's not a good choice, but I will allow it because everything else is amazing.
Yeah.
The sound design of this film is exemplary. And the reason I say that is it is constantly happening in the background and you do not know it's there.
Yeah.
There is this constant hum and this constant white noise that goes away when something is happening and it's replaced by the score. You have Michael Kamen, who famously was the guy in completely. Michael Kamen was the guy who was behind Metallica's S&M performance, the Symphony in the Metallica performance. So Michael Kamen is a very well-respected conductor and composer. Or was. He sadly passed away now. So all of the work that's being done here is top-level orchestral work, and is also done in combination with Orbital.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So the end music's done by Orbital, and all of the atmospheric internal noise is done by Orbital. So the sound of the Event Horizon gate opening up is done by Orbital.
Oh, that's fascinating. That's genuinely a real moment of, oh, okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
It's bizarre. So yeah, you want to get these noises of the ship. Do you start using the Paramount's backup library, or do you go to a techno band to start sampling and repurposing music and noise? Ta-da! Genuinely, the stuff behind the scenes of this film is insane.
Yeah. I know the ship still makes it through. The drive section still goes. It's just like, oh, it wasn't actually a win. The ship got what it wanted
Yep.
in both regards. This is
Yep.
probably,
The
but
ship got split into two. Some of it went back in order to take the new crew back to the Hell Dimension, and the rest of it. I love the ambiguity of this ending. It's so good.
really is.
Yeah, you have the spooky ending, and then
Yep.
slow pan out in order to. I always feel that when it says the end, it should have a question mark. Because the idea of the end, if that ship gets back to Earth with all the stuff that it can do and start to infect Earth, it is the end.
Yeah. But there'd be someone who wanted what's left of it, so they could go, well, what can we do different this time, or how do we replicate that?
Yeah. Look at how small the cast is.
I know, right? I was thinking that it's like it's so rare to actually get that, where you are only talking about not even 10 main
Yeah.
cast members.
There's more people in the special effects team than there were cast members.
Yeah,
You know?
and this is 1997 special effects, where that's what you'd expect it to be the other way around.
Yeah. Genuinely, I feel this film. The film itself is a bloody masterpiece of what it tries to do. Yeah, I think I was saying before about how there's like it's a shame that the various bits that were cut out have been lost, and one of the producers says he has some of it on VHS and then stuff like that. But I don't know if having that in there would make this a better film.
I think
It says here, visions of hell sequences edited by Nicholas Wayman Harris. So that gives you the idea that there is more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that what was cut out was hell stuff.
And that's kind of trippy, because we got a decent chunk. When you rewatch it, you kind of forget how much there actually is. Like the stuff where Miller sees his own crew when Weir shows him in visions at the end of doing stuff to them.
Yeah.
And then the bit we have of the original crew doing themselves in, again, you forget how much, for what there is, it's incredibly effective.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I think having that less is more really does help it. I don't know if that's interesting. Weir stroke the Beast special effects.
that's interesting. Having
Yeah, it
described it
ties
that
into
way.
what I was saying before that Weir is dead, and what you get afterwards isn't Weir.
That's cool. I never noticed that myself, to be fair.
No, that's the first time I've. It's kind of weird actually noticing something new for the first time. Way,
Yay!
that makes me happy. Continues.
Yeah, but this really is a fun film to sit through. I mean, I'm hoping if anyone's listening to this, you've already seen Event Horizon. This isn't your first listen through with us nattering over the top of it.
Yeah, I might have spoiled quite a lot for you. I do apologize. No, all in all, I think it's a film that it was very badly treated from the get-go.
Yeah.
But the fact it was very badly treated might be the reason it's as good as it is.
Yeah.
If it was given a lot more freedom, you might have got what Paul W.S. Anderson did in later films. Something that isn't as taunt. I mean, this is a tight movie.
It is. It really is.
There's not a second of wasted time. Everything kind of just goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's 96 minutes, pretty much. That's
Yeah.
a tight runtime for any film, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
for a film like this, where a lot of the big stuff doesn't occur till the last third,
Hmm.
that's actually incredibly fascinating for how it's been structured and put together.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. The structure, it runs into the three act beautifully.
Mm,
You know, you have your three acts, and they are all very succinct and very tightly paced within themselves. But each one has a little change in pacing. So when you get to the third act, the pacing is much more frenetic, much
yeah.
more breakneck.
And it's kind of a shame that it underperformed at the box office because, I mean, nowadays you can find films that have gone to the cinemas and done well that are way more extreme than this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
And
it's
a lot of the times, I mean, to be honest, it's one of the reasons that me and Andy did is because there was a huge run of the grindcore type
mm,
films happening at the time. The Hostels,
yeah, yeah,
I can't think what the other ones were now, but the ones that were all about getting as much blood, guts, and gore onto the stage as you physically can, and that isn't interesting to me.
mm,
That's not what horror is to me. There's a place for it, but when it's
yeah,
nothing but that, I find it incredibly boring, and I'm not interested. So one of the things that me and Andy were doing was we were looking at much more. Um, I mean, the idea was that we were looking at more psychological more than anything else.
yeah,
Also, adaptations of H.P. Lovecraft and how they're together, and yeah, the
mm,
atmospheric nature of it all. And that's sometimes it works, and sometimes you got 2008 Cthulhu, which was
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah,
That was a slog and a half. Um, But then you got the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society's movies, which both of them were absolutely incredible work,
mm,
brilliant on every conceivable point. And I think what's happened since then, we've kind of had a lot of that drawn back. So that was the other thing I was thinking. Um, those kind of films have kind of gone to the wayside now, outside of the one about the clown Terrifier,
yeah,
which
yeah,
no, thank you. That's
mm,
not for me. Not pleasant. It's not it's not an enjoyable experience for me.
yeah. I'm I'm not a big fan of that sort of film either. I mean,
No.
horror's a weird one for me, but I do watch horror from time to time, but it's not my main genre.
Hmm.
And if I do, I tend to prefer it to be. I don't so much like it to be a gore fest. I'd rather something a bit more nuanced to it.
Yeah,
If that
I
makes
like
sense.
existential horror over anything
Mm,
else. Whether that comes in the way of like cosmic horror or quantum horror or
yeah. But in
even
saying
like
that,
ghost stories.
I do quite enjoy. I've quite enjoyed getting my head around Hellraiser,
Oh
which
yeah,
can be very gory, but that's kind of in service of the actual plot as opposed to being the point. If that makes sense.
absolutely yes. I mean, Hellraiser 1 and 2, they are some of the goriest things you'll you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's never there to just be gory. It is there to get across exactly what's happening in the story.
Mm,
The everything that happens with the uncle in the attic, so to speak.
yeah.
He has made that happen to himself. He has set himself on that path in order to get that level of gore to happen to him. It's in service. It
Mm,
is part of the building blocks of the story being told. It's never gratuitous.
yeah. And it's kind of
And that,
what Event Horizon does. Everything that we see is even before we see any gore, it's all been hinted at
well,
just
the
from
first gore that you see is in the background.
yeah,
It's when you see the lightning and you get to see all of the horror and goo that's up the walls.
yeah,
You see it. The character doesn't because she's
yeah.
facing the camera.
So you know what's going on. They
Yeah,
don't. Not
yeah.
yet.
So once again, that story is being told. You are being. This is not a
Mm,
good place to be. The character is completely ignorant to the fact, but you get to see it as the the viewer, and that once again, it's bloody smart design from
Ab-
the start. Fuck,
absolutely.
I love this film. I love it.
Yeah. It, it's a person. It's one that I'm happy to come back to whenever I see it anywhere. Because I mean, I've owned a few versions of it over the years. I'm pretty sure I have a copy somewhere. At least
Hmm.
I have at least a DVD of it. I know that much
Yeah,
because you
I think
kind
I've
of,
got.
if you're a
I
science
think I've still got
fiction
my
fan,
VHS.
yeah,
Oh no.
if you're a science fiction fan, I think it's almost an essential part of your library
Yeah,
for
I'd
what it
agree with that.
represents. I mean, I'm looking up on my shelf. I've got the remake of Solaris next to Sunshine.
Hmm.
My Event Horizon, I'm sure I have one, would go perfectly in there. And that's, and because it's just this we it's weird because that type of science fiction where okay, so it takes a bit from Alien in that the setting feels lived in. It
Yeah,
has that to it. Everything feels functional, and that these are a crew that know each other, and we're an outsider coming in, so we're kind of seeing things from his eyes for the first 20 minutes or so, getting to
yeah.
know the crew. But we get the feel very quickly, much like Alien, Outland, those sort of movies, that this is a again, this would fit in with Outland perfectly.
Oh, 100%.
You could see this being a, a part of that sort of universe. It's
Well, you can get from Event Horizon to Outland to Alien very, very.
oh
So, yeah.
yes, oh, oh. This you know what I really love about this film. We've had at least 4 different ideas for marathons you could put this in, and it
Hmm.
would slot in perfectly.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. It feels like as I said before, it feels like a corner of a large,
Yeah.
and whether that's on purpose or it's just because the script only goes so
Mm,
far in doing what it does, and it does a lot of heavy lifting,
yeah.
no matter how you look at it, that there is connective tissue that you can attach it to almost anything else.
Mm.
Because unlike something like I don't know, Deep Star 6 or Leviathan, I don't know why I went for two C ones there. Um, then my
Yeah.
brain just goes, and underwater. Oh, for God's sake, come on, no, I need space films. Um, I like, these smaller budget,
Mm.
effects driven sci-fi horror type movies. It doesn't feel like a closed bubble,
Yes.
which a lot of those films do. That you only have the story of what's happening in front of you at that point in time. Nothing else is important.
Mm.
Event Horizon doesn't do that. It goes to the borders of the film that it is making.
Yeah.
And if you want to, very, very easily, you can expand out from those borders into other things
I think
because it fills its space
it
beautifully.
does. And I think Event Horizon also helps itself in that regard from where it starts.
Yes.
Because a lot of these other films, they start you in the situation. Underwater, which I do quite enjoy that film.
Ah, it's great fun.
Yeah. It doesn't really you don't start to learn anything about the characters. I mean, it starts you as things go wrong.
Yeah.
And you only find out anything really about the broader world in the credits when you
Yeah.
see the news reports about the survivors and the cover up.
The film should have got a sequel. God damn it.
It really should. I'm still torn as to whether I prefer the original, the alternate ending, because the alternate has Kirsten Stewart's character surviving.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Yeah, and it's on the special features. I think of at least one version of it, and I'm always torn as to do I prefer that or not? Because I do like the fact that she basically stares down
Cthulhu.
yeah, and basically tells it to fuck off,
Yeah.
go back to sleep, you daft bastard.
Yeah, big fuck.
But and goes out with it. Whereas the idea of her actually making it back to the surface appeals as well, just because you like to see your hero survive. but a heroic sacrifice works as well. So I'm so torn.
I think if it got a sequel, that would have been a really good ending. But because it's a one and done, yeah, I think maybe sacrificing herself is quite a good ending for it.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for a one and done though as well.
Oh, absolutely. Not
Yeah.
everything needs to be a franchise. Not everything should. And some things that are franchises should never have been a franchise.
Yeah. I'm fascinated though to see what this Event Horizon comic you're talking about turns out like.
Me too, actually. When is that? I'm sure it's this October it comes out.
Do we know who it's been published by?
Hang on a second. Comic series. IDW.
Oh,
Christian Ward is credited.
that's interesting.
It comes out in August.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's interesting because IDW are in a bit of a weird spot compared to where they were.
They really are. So this
Yeah.
could be great or it could be awful.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. It has a series editor, Nicholas Nino.
Oh,
So
that's
that gives you
promising.
the idea that they've got more than one story planned.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Penned by Eisner Award winner writer Christian Ward with artist Christian Jones. Oh,
Ooh.
sex me right up.
I'm going to have to look on FP and see if I can add that to my pull list. Damn it.
The graphic novel explores what actually happened to the doomed Captain Killpack when that first disastrous mission, when their experimental craft drifts over the demonic dimension lorded over by an entity called Payman.
Oh, God.
Okay, so they're really going to get it into the idea of biblical hell from the sounds of it. We'll see.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, Payman. I'm going to guess that Payman's the rework of Payman, the what's he called, the Blind King of Hell from various mythologies.
God, for layers.
Yeah, so I think when that comic comes out, I'll definitely.
Yeah, I'll have to give
It'll
that a
be.
go.
I think the interesting thing for me is going to be. It'll be the first time that there has been anything supplemental for Event Horizon. Am I going to enjoy something expanding that out that isn't from the inside of my own brain?
It's an interesting question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
We will do. On which we probably start to wrap things up because we have been yammering for a bit. But I thoroughly enjoyed this. Thank you for joining me
Oh, I
today.
always enjoy talking to you, and I always so these are all good things.
Excellent. So, what else can we say about this? That was Event Horizon, one of the definitely more
Best
interesting.
movies ever
Yeah,
made. And if you disagree with me, I'll fight you on a rain-soaked rooftop.
I could probably fit it in my top 20 very easily.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's always been in my top 10, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, it is where it is in the top 10. That's going to shift and change depending on the
Yeah,
day. But
I am very glad that it has had that reassessment and become a cult fave over the years because it didn't deserve to do as bad as it did when it came out. I think it
it,
was if it had come out a little later, but I think if it had come out post Matrix, because it came out before the Matrix, didn't it?
it did,
Yeah,
which is another reason why The Matrix is a shit example of filmmaking.
but no, I think the Matrix kind of created a bit more of a desire for people to have an R-rated science fiction film.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's something that didn't really happen at that point.
I mean, this sort of science fiction of this nature was generally much more of the B movies, your Proteuses and that
Yeah,
sort of thing. Reusing a lot of sets. I mean, this film deserves all rock purely because a lot of its material, the sets are all fresh built, fresh designs. Even if
hmm
they might reuse this concept, like you said, of Notre Dame, but that's all been built fresh.
Yeah, it's all been repurposed.
Everything is purpose built for the film, which is actually quite rare in science fiction filmmaking, whether it's on TV or for the big screen. To be honest,
Yeah.
it's not as common as you might think.
No.
Which is why you tend to see Starship Troopers gear show up in a lot of stuff post that film. Because it's always available. But
I have just made the discovery
mm,
that there is a fan edit of Event Horizon,
oh,
the Joachim's cut.
that sounds
I'm,
interesting.
I'm going to. We might have to come back and do another Event Horizon.
I have no problem with that. We can do that at some point when we find time. So
Yeah.
I'm game. Whenever you just let me know.
I will look up the Joachim's cut and see what it is. The reason I was looking was, if you get the chance to, I recommend watching the Event Horizon 19 TV spot, because, oh my word, if you ever wanted to know why this film didn't do well,
Ah,
there's the trailer. There's the one to look at. Jesus.
yeah, trailers can be.
The worst one is always going to be Vanilla Sky, because the trailers for Vanilla Sky made it look like a Basic Instinct stroke Fatal Attraction thriller,
Yeah.
when that film is a mind-bending piece of sci-fi brilliance.
Mm. This question but Vanilla Sky still did quite well on release, whereas, well, let's just say if I ever find out who made the choices for how they marketed TF1 last year,
Yeah, I will
they
happily
they
shoot them in the kneecaps.
they better pray I don't find them with a baseball bat anytime soon.
The best Transformers movie that's been made.
Yeah, that's you know what I'd settle for that. Take
It
off your
is.
rose tinted glasses. As much as I
Yeah.
have a soft
Y-
spot for the original '86,
Yeah.
it's not a perfect film. It does what it means to. There's a lot of heavy lifting we know about the soundtrack and stunt casting.
Yes.
TF1 is probably the most complete. I'd say it's better than Bumblebee, but
Yeah.
Bumblebee does a lot right
It
on
does.
its own terms.
Bumblebee and 86 will probably be fighting
Two,
for second place.
they are probably the
The-
best films of.
yeah.
Whereas the rest, followed by the original Michael Bay one,
I
and
would happily have that at number 4. Yeah.
then probably say Rise of the Beasts at 5.
Yeah, I guess. See, once you get to that point, it's what does Rise of the Beast? Oh, Rise of the Beast has a really. All right, yeah, no, number 5.
Yeah, and the
The
others, yeah.
they
It,
can all be at number.
isn't it weird that there are that many Transformers movies now? We can do a top 10
Yes,
or
yes,
an order of them in from 1 to 10, and the top 5
yeah.
just the level of quality between them and the bottom 5 is so massive.
It really is. But then again, I always argue that Michael Bay's Transformers films, they peak at the first 10 minutes of the first film, because the
Hmm.
blackout attack on the
Oh
military base
yes.
is genuinely incredible,
Oh yeah.
because it's shot like a horror film. It is brilliantly done. And then it's just this slow decline after that.
Yeah.
And then you get to Dark of the Moon. Oh my God. Fuck that film.
Yeah, and then Age of Extinction and The Last Night, and you just
Age of Extinction. So after Dark of the Moon,
hmm,
I only saw Transformers movies with Andy. Right? I would
yes,
travel through. I think actually no. I think it started with Dark of the Moon. Yes, it was, because Revenge of the Fallen was so bloody awful that I didn't want to go see them by myself. I didn't actually want to go and see them, but Andy needed to go and see them for Moonbase 2.
yeah. So you're
So
going as moral support.
yeah, and it got to Age of Extinction, and I couldn't do another one. I was so angry at the film I had to just watch that Andy never asked me to go back and see another one.
You know
He said
what?
that my rage was better than the film itself.
I can understand that completely.
it was Jesus. That film was just like being kicked to death.
Yeah.
Awful. And apparently, the last night's worse.
Yeah. And you know what the real
Oh.
you know what the real kicker is though about
Mm-hmm.
all the Transformers movies that Bay directed?
Mm-hmm.
You can see glimmers in each one.
Oh yeah.
There are hints of what could be, except he has to be Michael Bay about things, doesn't
Yes,
he?
he really
You can
does. He
tell
has.
that all of them have his handprints on.
Yeah.
For ones that don't have him involved too directly, you can tell as well, very clearly.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I think Rise of the Beast is better than the Bay films, but it's still not good because
No,
it spends too much time getting in its own way.
yeah,
But it
Rise.
has one of the most interesting soundtracks that uses Beast Wars and the
Hmm.
'86 movie themes all the way through it, and it's really smart, really clever
Yeah,
soundtrack.
I mean, I do like
It's
how
vicious.
Bumblebee and Beasts actually they're made as period pieces.
Oh yeah.
That's actually a really interesting way to do things.
Hmm.
A nice take.
I just wish that the Beasts had been more '90s than it actually was.
Yeah,
Because it kind of it does the Terminator Genesis problem of okay, if you say so.
yeah. That's always been a problem, getting a bit more personality.
Yeah.
Although Rise of the Beasts, the fact that it made me like a Pete Davidson voiced character gives me weird feelings.
Yeah, that's true. That was kind of odd. No, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
I'm annoyed about it,
yeah,
but also good job. But
yeah,
also I'm annoyed.
yeah.
Also, fuck
But
you. Yes, let's get out of
on
here.
that note, we need to get out of here because I'm sure you had to prepare to collect a small ball of
Yes, I do
energy.
actually. Yes, I have to go and get the boy soon.
Yes, I need a drink, lunch, and also to go through this. I managed to get a second premium pack off of Hachette because the first one they had a mistake in the instructions,
Oh,
so they sent me a fresh one. That's another Demon Prince and some more Howling Banshees. Yay!
hey, winner, chicken dinner.
Absolutely. And I have to build more Space Wolves because
Of course, because
I
you're
want.
you.
Yes. Well, I've built the army box. I'm now looking at the bits I've left over, seeing how many more Space Wolves I can build out of other kits. Because I'm me. But on
Awesome.
that note, folks, I have been Mr. D. He has been Mr. Gruff. Mr. Gruff, where can people find you if they are oh so interested in hearing more?
You know where I am. Just search for the Fluffen. I'm there. That's me. I don't really have anything else. My adnickel.weebly site has a load of art if you so wish. It's also going to be the place where I put up stuff for any of the books that I release. So any expansions or extra material will go up on there as well as on the Fluffenhammer. Also, my adnickel.weebly there. adnickel.weebly.com. Fucking hell. That also has a load of stuff on it that you can download for free if you want to have treats, which is a audiobook dedicated to the history of the 2D fighter. You can get it there. There is also a audiobook version of Philip K. Dick's We Can Remember It For You Wholesale, which you can download for. So go and do them. Enjoy.
And I'd be remiss in not saying, if you have enjoyed this or you enjoy anything else that he does, go to his Patreon, Fluffenhammer on Patreon. From
Yes,
well,
actually, I'm
ev-
really bad at saying
we're
that.
all
For a
terrible at doing
pound,
this, but
I know.
every little bit helps.
Yeah, for exactly one. Well, it's not even a pound; it's $1.
Yeah,
You can get $1, $2, or $10. If you go for the $10, you get T-shirts, stickers, mugs throughout the year. If you do $2, you get all of the Patreon stuff, which is a weekly show. A goddamn, how many other Patreons do weekly shows? God damn it! You get a weekly show where we go back through the history of Games Workshop's publication history. You also get all of the videos and stuff for free early access.
yeah,
So yeah, that's the Patreon.
excellent. In which case, folks, if you reached this far, thank you oh so much for listening.
If indeed you still are.
And, well, enjoy the rest of your day. Take it easy. Later, folks. Bye bye.
Bye bye.